All right, good to know that you're still with us on TMI Monday edition. All right, a quick one. We will be looking at the Russian-Ukraine war. And of course, with us in the studio is Barrister Emmanuel Obapolo. Barrister Emmanuel, welcome to TMI Monday.
Good morning, and good morning, Nigerians.
And of course, Jennifer White will still be with me here, so we could have some questions on this segment. Barrister Emmanuel, the war between Ukraine and Russia, is it necessary?
The war is grossly unnecessary. And looking at history, we've seen situations where disputes, war like this have emerged. Okay. Going back to memory lane, between 1914 and 1919, we had the First World War. And there was this cry then that it was because there was no international body that would regulate and promote world peace. So that as at then. So in 1920, that brought about the League of Nations, which was now promoted as the international body to resolve disputes and promote world peace. But to our amazement, as it were, the League of Nations never succeeded. The Second World War broke out. And then the Second World War started between 1939 and 1945. Thereafter, the world leaders came up again and said, it was because the League of Nations had no strong base. Because it was more like the American-European factor. So because of that, they want a situation where every nation of the world will be inclusive in that organization. And that gave birth to what is known today as the United Nations. But here we are again after the Second World War. And to my dismay is that the United Nations did not act promptly. They didn't act promptly because we saw days before the war broke out, Russia threatened. And one thing about the World Organization is that for now they should know that there are certain leaders of the world that has their mind on their back. With all due respect to them, Putin, the president of Russia, I likened him to the president of North Korea, Queen China. And if you find out, these three nations are allies of each other, and they support themselves in whatsoever they do. Now the man has threatened war, and he has taken the war to Ukraine. And here we are saying, we are going to give him sanctions. Even as at yesterday, the United Nations, led by United States of America, is threatening, we are going to give him sanctions, we are going to do. Yes, we are aware. In terms of the ICT, so many things has happened to Russia just now. But then, I think to my mind that there should be more sanction to Russia. It's not just sanction, there should be a support to Ukraine. Probably military support to Ukraine to see that Russia withdraws our armed forces from Russia, because Russia has violated the rights of Ukraine as it stands.
But there are some groups that are trying to look at Putin's argument and say he has some reason to invade Ukraine. What do you think about that?
I do not agree with that agreement, except those persons or group of persons would tell me that Ukraine is not a sovereign state. Just now, we are aware that Ukraine is a sovereign state. Yes, true. Ukraine broke out of the former USSR. But it is a sovereign state. And as a sovereign state, she has her own rights to belong to any member. Association, right to association, she has it. The United Nations laws and also the charter, various charters, conventions allows for that. So for Ukraine, for Russia to have invaded Ukraine, to my mind, is a violation of the rights of Ukraine. There should have been better way of resolving this matter, and not invasion. You don't just invade a sovereign nation, probably because you share common boundary with that nation, or probably because the nation chooses to romance with another nation. You do not do that. Yes, Russia is saying why we are doing this is because should Ukraine belong to NATO, then the United States of America will use Ukraine as a base to supervise our military tactics and others. Yes, that argument may hold water. But now, does that supervising your military tactics whatsoever, as they say, and invading the right of another man, which is better?
Okay. You know, this man is a spy. He's a trained spy. And every spy see people around them as suspects and threats. But do you think the sanctions on Russia currently, will it have a way of having positive effect to cushion the war?
Yes, I think so. Because as at yesterday, the man is beginning to have a rethink. He thought that he would easily run through Kiev. Okay. He has succeeded. He has this romance now with Donetsk and Oleski. Then he thought that Kiev would be easy for him. But the man is meeting great resistance now. And as at yesterday, I heard that he's beginning to agree for a discussion. And he has picked Belarus as a place where the discussion should be held. But Kiev is saying no. Because we are also aware that Belarus is also joining Russia to invade Kiev. So Kiev can, if I am the president of Ukraine, or I'm in the position of Zelensky as it stands just now, I will also say that Belarus shouldn't be the appropriate place. I think a neutral ground will be better. Okay. So the sanction visited on Russia just now is appropriate. Okay.
Could there have been a better way for President Putin to carry out, to let's make his intentions known without invading Ukraine?
Yes, the man would have done that, but his character is affecting him just now. His character is not allowing him to reason that he, as a factor, as a game changer, should promote world peace. Instead, the man is also threatening, maybe because he thinks he has a particular weapon, or his armory is so strong to the extent that it can cause distraction in the world. Like 2 days before now, if my memory judges me correctly, he came up with a particular missile he called Satan II, and claimed that Satan II can destroy every living thing in the whole world. The man is only just making a bigger mistake by the day. You cannot claim that kind of thing, because the air that which humanity breathes is not created by him. Of course. The owner can choose to do whatever he wants to do with it. So the man is making a lot of error, and the whole world is ganging up against him. And I think he will not succeed.
But there's an update that the International Judo Federation, IJF, just suspended him as an honorary president.
All of that, you know, this matter as it is just now is more political than we can see. Of course. So all these sanctions visited on him, the man may not give a damn, being the kind of person he is. His character is what is killing him just now. His character is what is making him
when you talk about character, he has people that he's working with. He has a government he's working with.
Yes. In Russia, the law, he is the law. The law allows him to do whatsoever he wants. The parliament is not there to tell him no. Yes, that is the problem. The problem of Russia just now is the foundation, and the foundation is the grown-up, which is the law, the constitution in Russia. The constitution in Russia allows him to do whatsoever he's doing. If you go in Russia now, we are made to understand that even the media is totally down. So the people cannot even get information what is really happening. They are just in Russia, but they don't. Russians are in Russia, but they don't know what is happening within and outside Russia just now. So that is the kind of tactics he is using. He has been able to ensure that he keeps the people away from proper information, so that he cannot do whatsoever he would, and claim that he has the support of his people. When he started this 2 days before the invasion, some persons came out and protested, and they said, no, we don't need war, we need peace. And the war just need what? Peace. And before you know, he started arresting them. And that was how Iran came up with that master plan to shut down the media.
There are a lot of worries and concerns about the response of the U.S. A lot of people feel that the response of the U.S. is very weak, and it doesn't hold water. That we don't need just only sanctions, we need action. What do you have to say about that?
I think just now I would agree with the U.S.
Okay.
on the ground that it is Democrats that is ruling U.S. just now. If it were to be the Republican, maybe we'll have a different situation.
Okay.
That is one. Two, and I think the United States is a good student of history.
Okay.
They want to learn from what happened in the First World War, what happened in the Second World War, to see how they can make world peace, promote world peace as it is just now. So that's why they are taking it softly. Instead, what they are doing now, instead of sending forces to start combating the Russian forces, they are now saying, no, we will impose sanctions. That is the first step. After that, the armory of Ukraine will also promote in boosting the armory. And other nations also are also doing, like Germany. Yesterday, the Chancellor of Germany came up. The House said, look, we are in support with Russia. We have Australia, we have France, we have Japan. All of these nations have come out to say, look, your armory, we are going to support you. And now everybody in Ukraine, particularly in Kiev now, is a military man. Because they have to protect their nation. Because once Kiev, the capital, is captured, then there will be no more Ukraine.
Of course.
Now we have so many people migrating to Poland for safety. Now, do you think at the end of the day, Poland may not be a target point for Russia?
Poland is already a target.
Of course.
Because the man is seeing Poland as an enemy, even from the beginning, because he thought that Poland would support him just like Belarus. But Poland said, no, we cannot give you this support. We want to promote world peace. We are not interested in causing dispute all over the world. And he now saw Poland as an enemy. The likes of Putin, I repeat, are persons who would want to give out what they want, and whether anybody likes it or not, should take it hook, line, and sinker. That is the kind of person he is. That's why I started by saying his character is his problem. And his character will continue to be his problem. But I think if he does not retreat, he will meet with surprises.
Really? Like what kind of surprises?
Yes, then military action may be an option.
Okay. The United Nations Security Council will be having a meeting today. Do you think the outcome would help the situation?
The outcome may improve little the situation, but thus far it has not helped the situation to my mind. But on the other leg of it, I think they are not keeping quiet. The United Nations is not keeping quiet. They are not happy with what is happening in the world just now, particularly in Ukraine. But then, if you look at the person they are dealing with, Putin, is somebody that does not take a no for an answer. And they are aware of that. So if they go the way he wants them to go, then the world will be in dispute, entire world. So that's why they are taking it one step at a time. I think by the day they will improve. Yes, because now that he has accepted for a peace talk, they want to see what and what could be done, how they may approach the peace talk. Because Putin, being the person he is, if you don't come up with a better argument that may convince or confuse him, or both convince and confuse him, he may not accept the resolution, and then the whole world may be in dispute.
The president of Ukraine now feels alone. He was expecting more support from other countries, but as of now, he only has himself and the citizens to defend the land.
He's not alone. Yes, he's feeling alone because he thought there could be military support, action against Russia. But like I did say, most of the nations of the world just now, particularly those who share common boundary with Ukraine, are very, very careful. And to my mind, I think they are good students of history. So they don't want a repeat of the First World War or the Second World War. What Putin is looking for a Third World War. So that confusion will be in the whole world. And once there is confusion, people like him will begin to dictate their pace.
That was why he threatened other nations, don't interfere.
Yes, he will begin to tell people, look, you must do things in my whims and caprices. So the world understands just now. And they said, no, we don't want to go the way of this man. You see how he's boasting of his armory. Yes, you are boasting of your armory, but you don't know the armory of the next door neighbor.
Of course.
So, and that is why now that he's meeting with resistance in Kiev, the man is shocked. Already, he went with 45,000 foot soldiers and armored cars to Kiev. But he's beginning to retreat them now. Because he has now seen that, I thought I would easily run through these people. Yes. But these people, doesn't mean that they are this strong. What is really happening? I hope the whole world is not against himself. Something may be running through his mind just now.
I actually saw a video where he just finished a press conference, and on his way back, he refused to enter his car.
Yes.
Left home out of frustration.
Yes. The man is more confused than he thought. Okay. He's confused. I saw him also walking, and he walked a very long distance. I was telling my wife, I said, this man is confused. You can see him that what he thought would have happened is not what is happening just now. Okay. And there is going to be a united gang up against him. Even after the war, there's going to be an aftermath of this war on Russia.
So do you think, in your own opinion, that Putin will easily lay down his arm?
No, he's not that type of character.
Okay.
It's not that type of character. That's why I did say just now that you must convince or confuse him, or both. Okay. You convince and confuse him. That is the only way this character can give up. Okay. If you don't do that, he would say he may want to continue. Probably the only thing he will just do, he will reduce the force and maybe go at the border. Maybe probably because already he has a good romance now with Donetsk, he may probably shift his base to Donetsk and start claiming that Donetsk is a sovereign state. So I want to protect Donetsk against Ukraine. Yes, that is what the man will say. Because you see, people like him, there are people who look for excuses to promote what they want to do. Is that kind of character. So, and that is his problem. And his character is a threat to global peace.
Yes.
So, and that is why just now we see the war in Ukraine. So, Putin is not somebody that you can just remove with the wave of the hand. No. He's somebody that, yes, good. He has good armory, no doubt about that. They've spent a lot of money to ensure that their armory is intact. Yes. And that alone is a threat to global peace. Yes. Japan just said three or 2 days ago that even North Korea started releasing missiles. You cannot see that the man is having support already.
Yes. I'll just talk about that. We are finding China, we are finding North Korea in support of Russia. What do you think is the implication of that? Because the nations of, like you just said now, the world is seeking for peace. But there are some people in between that are not, don't have that idea that we should have world peace. Some people are in support of Russia's decision. Nations like North Korea and China. What do you think is the implication of that?
The implication is that it's a threat to world peace. Okay. But then we must look at the character of these three men and these three nations as governed by these three men. Okay. You can see that they are of the same character, and these persons are instruments of destruction, with all due respect to them. Okay. That's why you see they don't give a damn what happens to humanity. Yes. While other states are saying, let's promote peace. Let's make the world a better place for every one of us. They are not interested in that. What they are interested in is you must subject yourself to their whims and caprices. And hence you said no to that. Then you are a threat to them. They will also pose threats to world peace. Yes. That is the kind of persons they are. So that's why just now they spend a lot of time and energy to ensure that they equipped their armory and probably threaten one or two nations and said, if you don't take time, we can invade you. Just as Russia is invading Ukraine just now. So these are their character is basically their problem. And I don't know whether nature gave them that kind of character or they somewhere acquired that kind of character.
In a rush.
Yes, they do.
All right, now, if you critically look at it, to an extent, Ukraine is making progress. They've successfully gone down 5 jets and some helicopters. So don't you think Ukraine will eventually win this war, Barrister?
Ukraine would win
without support this time around.
Without support from the international community?
Yes, because to an extent, from the body language, the international community, they are trying to back out.
Yeah, or they are just being quiet on the matter.
No, the international community are only trying to be diplomatic. They cannot back out. Because, first of all, what caused the war? That is the first question to be asked.
Yes.
What caused the war was because Russia chose to join NATO.
Okay.
And NATO is led by the United States and Ukraine, sorry.
Yes.
Russia chose to join, Ukraine chose to join NATO.
Yes.
And other nations NATO is led by the United States of America and other European nations.
Yes.
Now, if you look at it, every one of them basically has an interest.
Of course.
So, and the interest is what is the drive towards why we have this war just now, this war. So, NATO is now saying, we want to embrace Ukraine. Russia is saying, no, you cannot embrace Ukraine. So, the international community just now cannot withdraw totally from Ukraine.
Okay.
Because Ukraine did not cause the war herself. It was because Ukraine wanted an embracement from every one of them that resulted to the war Ukraine is fighting just now. So diplomatically, they may tell you that, okay, we are backing out because Russia has chosen to discuss. Or Russia has chosen to have a peace talk. We are backing out. But that does not stop the supply of weapons to Ukraine.
If we look at the two sides, I want us to look at the two sides of the argument. If Russia is able to win Ukraine, is able to annex Ukraine, what are the implications of that worldwide?
One, it shows that...
And then we'll also look at the other side. If Ukraine is able to beat back Russia, what will be the implication of that worldwide?
Let me start with Russia. If Russia succeeds, it simply means that any nation in the world that is stronger than the other can just wake up one morning and run through that nation. Then the world peace that we are all talking about will be a futility. So on the other side of it, for Ukraine to surmount Russia, I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Because if you look at the armory base of Russia and that of Ukraine, you cannot compare them.
Okay.
Then you also look at the population. Ukraine is about 42 million population. Russia is about 45, almost 10 times that population. So when you look at it, it's like David facing Goliath, but not spiritual. Because the biblical David and Goliath was more spiritual than we thought. But in this one, it is not spiritual, it is physical. So Ukraine do not have the armory to run through Russia, but Russia has the armory to run through Ukraine. If Ukraine does not get support from other
But if
nations.
Ukraine is able to beat back Russia, maybe there's a surprise factor we're not considering.
Yes, and that is happening already. Because Russia thought she can easily run through Ukraine, run through the capital Kiev. But now she is finding out that she is meeting a very vehement resistance from that. So I think she too would want to withdraw and say, maybe that is why the man is giving the peace talk a second thought. Say, look, I didn't know that these men are as strong as I think. So let me withdraw, and probably with time, I will now do some spy, because he is a specialist.
Of course.
Putin is a specialist. So his professionalism and specialty has failed him just now. Because it shows that he didn't do his homework very well. Yes, he underestimated Ukraine. But then we also look at it from the other angle. Probably other nations are able to support Ukraine without making the announcement. Just as he is making an announcement that I have so weapon, I can cause destruction, I can destroy the whole part of the world. So I think that is the factor just now.
Now let's come back to our home country. You know, this is a prelude now to a global war that might lead to the Third World War. But do you think our governments are doing fine? Because we have people out there, we have students who are studying in Ukraine, they are trapped there. Don't you think the government of Nigeria, they were not proactive enough to get these people out of Ukraine before the war started?
Sir, anything that has to do with Nigeria, we believe in fire brigade approach. And that's why when some of us say it, we are not termed enemy of the state. To my mind, Nigeria is just a country that lives by accident, with all due respect to the leadership. Particularly in this dispensation.
That's actually your opinion.
That is my opinion. And I hold it tenaciously. We have seen situations where everything is crumbling, and we are pointing to that thing that is crumbling, and the government of the day will tell you, no, that is our style. They paint it. They give it a coloration so that the people, and in Nigeria, the more you look, the less you see. Like my lecturer put it some time ago, he said Nigeria is the only country where an elephant can fly, nobody will ask. And really, we are not asking. The man is correct. We are not asking. So, if you look at the way things are going, in this nation, there is no manner, no iota, no atom of any form of proactiveness in anything we do. Okay. What we do is fire brigade approach. Oh, you don't come, okay. Particularly if that thing happens to the downtroders, there will be no response.
Okay.
Except you meet those at the top of the ladder.
We have some of their children schooling in Ukraine. Let's look at it that way. A good number of people who school in Ukraine. I mean, one of a politician, we don't want to mention him now, has 2 of his siblings there. And he started shouting, I have people there. So don't you think we have the people who are in high class who still have their children there?
A very handful of them.
Okay.
Ukraine is one nation. I'm made to understand that Ukraine is one nation that has that values education.
Yeah, sure.
And as such, their education, they don't give so much money. Money, when it comes to money, is very, very mined in Ukraine. That's why you have most of the children of the poor in other parts of the nation go there to study. So it's just 1 or 2 of the high class that you see there. Okay. And I read somewhere that even the Nigerians, when the government, the House of Rep in particularly, moved the resolution that Nigeria should be evacuated from Ukraine, they responded that we rather remain here than to go back to Nigeria.
Of course.
That was their response. So that is to tell you that all is not well at home. The truth is this: if a man is beaten outside, the man runs home.
That's true.
But in Nigeria, if you are beaten outside, you remain there. Because if you come home will be worse than what you can envisage. So the situation just now in Nigeria is so terrible to the extent that I don't know how we can probably look for a solution to all of this. Because we thought the emergence of this administration would have curbed or reduced some of those things that Nigerians went through. It is just the biblical story where the King Solomon died, and the Israelites came to either Jeroboam or Rehoboam. Then he was the king, and said, please, your father dealt with us with a whip. We want you to lessen our body. And the young man told them, go home. After some days come, I will tell you my position. And when they came, he said, yes, my father dealt with you with a whip, but I'm going to deal with you with the sting of a scorpion. That is the situation just now.
Do you think Putin would press the nuclear button, considering the rate at which the war has gotten to now? Because it's as if he's at the losing side now. Everybody is against him. So do you think he would want to press the nuclear button?
The first question would be, does Putin want to die? The answer is a no. The answer is a no. Putin himself does not want to die. He's only threatening the world.
Yes.
That's why I said the man may meet with surprises. There might be other nations like Israel, like the United States of America, that may have anti-nuclear facility to probably disarm that is so-called Satan 2. Yes. The man is just only ranting. He's just making hell of noise.
So what do you think he really wants? What does he want out of this war?
Putin is an emperor.
Okay.
And is ruling like an emperor. He's not a democrat.
Okay.
So what he wants is to see how he can probably become world power. That is his interest.
That's what he
yes, that is his interest. Okay. And as he stands just now, he can never be world power. The United States just now is world power. Whom other nations that are allies of the United States. Okay. So he is only just making noise. The United States is just looking at him. Democrats, they are just taking things step by step. If they want to run through him, they can run through him. He's just making noise. The so-called Satan 2 may not even work. Okay, what if he releases the Satan 2 and the thing explodes in Russia? What happens?
All right. Now, talking about the sanctions that were put on Russia, you know, Russia supplies a very high amount of, I think 40% of the crude oil and natural gas to the world. Now that sanctions have been put on Russia, do you think that's an open window for Nigeria?
It is, but you see that our politicians are already telling us that it's not a good one.
Really?
Yes, because they will have more money in their pockets and bags.
Okay.
Not that they will have more money to take care of the people. We've seen over the years, where the price of oil goes up.
Yes.
But Nigerians don't feel it.
Okay.
Then now that you have more money for some few persons to play with here and there. And that is the position. They're already giving Nigerians the signal that, look, I heard the Minister for Petroleum State Silva saying that it's not a good one for Nigeria. I just laughed. I said, look at this man. Are you saying that if you have more money, it's not a good one for Nigeria? So it is better for Nigeria to start borrowing. As you people are borrowing now, and you have borrowed out the future already. Is that the interest? So these men are already saying it. More money is coming to our pockets and our bags. Now they don't even take money to accounts. They want to keep it in their pockets and in their bags. So they now feel that yes, we can have more money. So let's start preparing the minds of the people that it is not a good one. Just like the animal farm, where we have a squealer who will come and tell the animals, oh, we saw the 7 commandments. All animals are equal. But somewhere along the line, the donkeys were there and read and say, it has been changed. All animals are equal to, some animals are more equal to others. Squealers started telling the animals, no, it is not like that. That is the role they are already playing. They are already preparing the mind of Nigeria. Because they know that they will have more money. So, and that has been in the tradition. So I don't see the implication of the rise of crude or fuel as it stands just now in the international market affecting the lives of Nigeria. I do not see that.
Okay. Despite the fact that Germany has actually hurt their pipelines, it won't affect.
It won't affect Nigeria. It won't. The situation we have in Nigeria is one that you cannot explain. Okay. Because we have leaders who don't have Nigerians at heart. Okay. We've seen that. From 2015 to this very period, we've seen leaders who don't have us at heart. What they have at heart is 3 commandments or 3-point agenda. Me, myself, and I. Me, my wife, and children.
Is that what you think?
That is my opinion.
Okay. So
and that is the position.
But we still have sincere politics.
You are also feeling it, sir. Because the leaders, ITV is also feeling it. You can see the way when ITV spends more money in running the company, then would it not affect the staff? It will. And that is how Nigeria is. We have more money to have a bogus cabinet. We have more money to have more appointments. But we don't have more money to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigeria. That is the position just now.
Okay, Nigeria is not actually the focus. But as we go back to Russia, I'm just thinking about this peace talks now that will be held and the negotiations that will be made. Do you think that Ukraine will be able to meet up with the conditions that Russia would give? How would they be able to find a middle ground?
First, Moscow should know that Kiev is a sovereign state. Okay. If, for instance, Moscow tells Kiev that you must not join NATO, the question would be, are you saying Russia can dictate for Kiev? Okay. The answer is an emphatic no. So what I think, they should look for a political arithmetic situation. Okay. What I mean by that is that the cards should be placed on the table and each nation should be made to choose. After that, they can now have a conference, like we say in law, that lawyers should come and have a conference to harmonize their briefs, so that they can harmonize whatever decisions they have taken and see how they can draw either a tiny line or a large line of agreement.
When you say tiny line?
Tiny line in the sense that Russia may not agree in totality. Kiev may not agree in totality. But there should be a suspension of firepower for now. Then, as the days go by, like the saying goes, time heals wound. So as the day goes by, with time, there may be an agreement.
All right, but to resolve the situation. I'll hold you here now. Okay, we'll be back after the short break. Don't go away. All right, good to know that you are still there. If you're just joining us, it's TMI Monday edition. We still have Barrister Emmanuel Obakolo with us here in the studio, and we have been looking at the Russian-Ukraine crisis. Okay, we'll be opening the studio line at this point so that you can call in and share your view on the matter. Okay, the number to call is 052290573. I'll take that again, 052290573. That is the number to call so that you can air your view on the issue at hand. Barrister.
Okay.
Hello, good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Collins. I'm calling from Benin.
All right, please go ahead and share your thoughts with us.
About this Russia and Ukraine crisis,
Yeah.
I believe Putin is trying to put the whole world into push the whole world into third world war.
Okay.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion, because there is no iota of warrant that causes to do this invasion.
All right. I think we'll be making our opinion as brief as possible. Yes.
Then, all of a sudden, you bring your armory to their border and invade the country.
All right.
You give disregard to all effort that has been made to.
Okay, I think I have to let him go there. We have so many other callers. Yeah, he said Putin is trying to put the world into the world war. We'll get back to that. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning, caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, welcome to TMI. Your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, thank you. I'm calling from
Abuja.
Onitsha.
Onitsha. Okay, please go ahead and share your thought with us. We can hear you anyway. If you can hear us, we can hear you loud and clear. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome to TMI.
Yes, my name is George Waifu. I'm calling in to make my contribution.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from PZ Road, Osaple Road.
All right, please go ahead and quickly make your contribution.
All right, so my contribution is with respect to the war in Ukraine.
Okay, I'm sorry we lost that. We're trying to rectify one or two issues. We are going to go back to that. His opinion, the other person who called, the first caller, he actually said Putin is trying to put the world into third world war. Barrister, what is your take?
Yes, I agree absolutely with him, and that's why, to my mind, I agree that Putin is not a good student of history.
Okay.
The man, though he claims to be a specialist in spy, and just now he has not been able to prove that worth or me too, as the case may be, because if he had sat down to also look at his books of history and know that the First World War emerged because of issues like these, the Second World War followed suit because somebody refused to listen to the voice of wisdom, and himself now is caught in the web, making himself a factor that would want to also repeat history in the negative form. So the man, to my mind, is really not doing better. He is trying to cause a third world war, and that's why he did say that I can release my missile called Satan 2 and see that I destroy everything. Yes, that is the missile, Satan 2. To release Satan 2 to destroy everything that has breath in the world. So you can see a man that has that kind of intention. That intention alone is criminal.
Sure.
Whether by the international law or by the law of sovereign states of other nations, it's criminal. So, but he is not looking at himself as a criminal just now. So he wants to destroy life that he cannot give. That alone is criminal. So Putin wants the Third World War. He wants to be a determining factor in the Third World War because he is happier when the world is no longer at peace. But like I did say, he will meet with surprises.
All right, if you're just joining us, the number to call so that you can be part of this conversation is 052290573. I'll take that again. All right, it's displayed on the screen right now so that you can be part of the conversation. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning. This is Oyi from Benin.
All right, Mr. Oyi from Benin, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead and share your thoughts with us.
Yes, I think the world has not learned from history.
Okay.
Because there was once a Napoleon, there was once a Stalin, there was once a Hitler. Even Russia itself was part of the Allied forces that fought against Germany during the Second World War. I wonder why he has refused to align himself with history. Whatever he's trying to do, we should know that he will be remembered only in negative sense.
All right, thank you.
I praise Ukraine for standing against him, and I'm sure that if the war should continue, the rest of the world will stand behind Ukraine.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for coming by.
Thank you
All
very
right, please ensure your contribution is as brief as possible. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Hello?
All right, we can't hear you. I think you have to call back. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I think we're having a little hitch there with the network. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You're welcome to TMI. Your name and where you're calling from?
From Okoko community. I beg my brother, what did you make me call now this morning? My children, they don't drive me for school fees. Plantain, where I got for plantain.
So we're talking
All right,
about
sorry.
the Russia-Ukraine
That's
crisis.
not what we actually, that's not our focus this morning. I'm sorry, we need to let you go. Good morning, caller.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Yeah, your name and where you're calling from. Please, when you're calling, ensure you turn down the audio volume of your television set, okay, so that we can have a crystal clear conversation. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, your name and where you're calling from.
Yes, yes, my name, I'm calling from Secondary Central Avenue.
All right, please go ahead quickly, Odio.
First of all, let me commend you, the panel of the city right now.
Thank you.
But I want, you asked several questions, and your guest is dealing with them very well. I just want to support that the world is not leaving Ukraine aside. Like he earlier said, you have to be diplomatic.
Okay.
The very moment you want to use force on Russia, if Russia is threatening to use nuclear weapons, Russia will not direct to countries like America and Israel because those on they have the defense mechanism to defend it. They will target other countries around. So what you do in this case, one, pick up the Ukrainian artillery, like to give them weapons, as well as which UK is doing already.
Okay.
But the machines they use in shooting down the what do you call it, Russia's jets is from the UK. Americans are doing that already. Other countries are doing that. So in case like this, you don't come out directly to say you want to fight.
Okay.
But what you do is support Ukraine. Then the sanctions on Russia, I think by the end of the day, how complete. So it's not unfortunate. Instead of people have to improve his country, improve the kind of living of his country, develop the country economically and otherwise, he's fighting wars.
All right.
He just wants to beat Russia, and I'm afraid Russia will not end up the way Iraq ended up.
All
That's
right.
just what
Thank you very much. Thank you for coming by. All right, you heard him. He said he's afraid Russia might.
Not go the way of Iraq.
So what's your opinion on that?
Yes, just like the last caller said, I'm indeed afraid that Russia will not go the way of Iraq. And, leaders who have this enthusiasm and thinking that they are superhumans.
Yeah.
History has it that at the close of the day, they are made to be like the biscuits. So that's why like I said, the man is not a good student of history. And one of the callers also
Talking about
mentioned,
the man Putin.
yes, it's not a good student. Because history has it. There is no leader that emerged that said, I want to rule the world that succeeded.
Of
It's
course.
just not there.
Okay, let's take more calls. Okay. Hello, good morning, caller.
Hello?
Good morning, your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
We can hear you loud and
Hello?
clear. Your name and where you're calling from. All right, I think we lost that. We can hear you on this other side. Okay. Hello, good morning. I think. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
You are talking with Idoki
Okay, where are you calling from?
from Juba, Benin City.
All right, please go ahead and share your thoughts with us.
In respect of the crisis between Ukraine and Russia, that part is just character. First of all, using that language, satanic missile, is it greater than God?
No.
Is it greater than Jesus Christ?
No.
I'm telling you physically and spiritually that it's going to fail that a war.
Okay, yeah, and I think we should say amen to that.
The seven plague that was brought down at the quarter is not by the power of the opponent Ukraine. It's God that did that something. So that man has to just character by saying he's going to use that satanic devil weapon too.
All right, thank you.
Man.
Thank you for coming by. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you for sharing your thought with us. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
This is Frederick from Ogo.
All right, please, can you be audible a little so we can hear you loud and clear?
I think there are some things that we are not really getting right.
Okay.
Everybody is blaming Russia. Russia is not totally to be blamed. I think, in my opinion, currently America are the people instigating Russia to do what they are doing.
You
they are
think so?
currently motivating or telling Ukrainians what to do. So, and Russia being aware of that, they are angry. They don't want. They are indirectly fighting Americans, not Ukrainians, actually.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for coming by. You had what he said, Barrister.
Is deep far from the truth.
Okay.
America cannot instigate Ukraine to fight Russia. And looking at the scenario just now, the circumstances has painted itself. The fact speaks for themselves.
Okay.
Russia invaded Ukraine.
Yes.
That is the issue. And why did Russia invade Ukraine? Why? Because Ukraine said, I'm a sovereign state.
Yes.
I want to belong to a particular association. And Russia is saying no. That is the issue.
All right, let's take more calls. Hello, good morning.
No?
Yes, good morning.
Oh,
We
yes,
can hear you. We can hear you. All you need to do is go ahead with your contribution. You were saying something.
The second to the last caller did say maybe Russia has one or two excuses
Yes.
or defenses
Yes.
to place on the table. And I said, no, that may not be correct, in the sense that Russia invaded Ukraine. And looking at when we in the international community or the international law recognize what is called territorial sovereignty, then if a particular state like Ukraine has territorial sovereignty, and in the international laws and international conventions also provide for that any state can belong to any member or any
Yes.
association she
Yes.
wants to belong to. And Ukraine is saying, I want to belong to this. Yeah, probably, maybe Ukraine saw or feels that if we join this group, it will be more beneficial to the state
Yes.
called Ukraine.
Yes.
Then what Russia need to have done is, if Russia has any group, Russia should have said, look, if you join me, you'll be like this. Russia should also know that they said Ukraine.
Let's hear from our viewers. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
This is Omo from Ekuma.
Okay, Omo from Epoma, please go ahead.
Okay. Putin is trying to establish his Satan power. That is, he wants to try himself before God. Without knowing human power is not more than God, so he lose that sense. They come into our country. You see, penny wise, pound foolish. Our leaders in this country and our politicians, they spoil education for poor one and send their children to abroad. Look at what is happening now.
Yeah.
Their children now, they are at risk if they don't know. Well, they don't want to think.
Don't you think we still have common
So it's
Nigerians
very
whose children are
unfortunate, my
there?
brother. That's my contribution.
All right, thank you, Omo from Epoma, for coming by. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. I think we still have more calls coming in, but let's hear from you, Barrister.
The last caller, I want to agree with him on the aspect of saying that our politicians send their children abroad. The truth remains that if the education system in Nigeria is built on a solid ground, would there be any need to go abroad?
Exactly.
The Asian tigers we know today, Japan, China, all those small countries,
Yes.
even North and South Korea, you see that they adopted their own system of education.
Yes.
And today, where are they? You cannot refer to them as third world nation any longer.
It's true.
They are developed nation. But since 1960, we are still developing without foundation. Can you develop a property without having foundation? Okay. So that is, if you do that, you will crash. And that's why the nation Nigeria is crashing. The leaders only think of themselves, their wives and children. That is the bitter truth.
This segment is basically to hear from our viewers. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome on board TMI Monday. What's your view on what we're talking about?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
Before now, okay, my name is Desmond. I'm calling from Sapler.
All right, please go
Before
ahead.
now, we'll be hearing about war. And America, they already sent their to take off.
I think
Oh, we lost that.
we lost her there.
You can always call
Please,
back.
you can call back, okay, so that you can actually share your view with us. She has been hearing of war, and I think she's
Nigerians are too religious.
Hello, good morning. Hello, caller. Good morning. Well, we can hear you. All you need to do is to go ahead and share your contribution. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Benin.
Your name, please.
My name is Henry.
All right, please go ahead, Henry. All right, I think we lost Henry there. You said Nigerians are so religious.
Too religious. You see, we try to attribute global happenings and also what happens to Nigeria to spirituality. Most times you don't do that, and that's why you see when our leaders are not doing well, somebody will say pray for the leaders.
Okay.
I don't pray for Nigerian leaders any longer because they know what they are doing. I can only pray for my leader if my leader is doing well. Oh Lord, spare his life, spare his family.
But there's a part of the Holy Book that says pray for.
That is the religious aspect of it. So we should look at, God has given us brain by the grace of God. I'm a child of God, I fear God. Okay. But God has given us brain to lessen his body.
Okay, Pastor Barrister.
So maybe in this part of the world.
Hello, good morning. Sorry, I'm going to Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Lagos.
Okay, please go ahead and share your thoughts with us. Well, he's actually calling from Lagos. I didn't get to get the name. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, welcome to TMI.
Okay, I'm engineer Odiase.
Okay, where's engineer Odiase calling from?
Calling from Benin.
All right, please go ahead, engineer, and share your thoughts with us.
What Russia is doing, that is not really good at all.
Okay.
Because Ukraine is a sovereign nation.
Yes.
What you expect from Russia is to lobby. Life is not about lobbying. You know, if you want Ukraine to be in your part, to support you, you will do things that will make them to attract you to you.
Okay,
You
that's
see the
another
West,
aspect.
you can really they are running around in NATO nations. Everybody, if Nigeria can even, if we have the privilege of joining NATO, we would recommend Nigeria to join NATO. Because the issue of Boko Haram would have been solved by now. Because NATO law says that an injury to one, an injury to all.
That's true.
So you can see that you put it's a dictator. So you should just back up because it's taking people's lives.
Okay.
Innocent lives. Life cannot give, they are taking it. So that's a contribution.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer Odiase, for coming by.
That's an interesting angle.
Yes. I want to look at the opinion of the last caller.
Okay.
And I absolutely agree with him. But then my question would be, why did the former USSR break?
Okay.
Why? You discover that it was activities like Putin is putting up just now that led to the emergence of the independence of other nations.
Okay.
Russia, Ukraine, Belarus,
Yes.
Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kurdistan, Bosnia, Herzegovina. All of these countries broke out from the Soviet Union
Yes.
because of activities like this. And that's why now they are choosing to join NATO. because they feel that they will be more welcome in NATO. And you are saying no, because for him, he is feeling that America, the United States of America, will use Ukraine as a base to spy our weaponry, a security network.
Okay, Barrister Emmanuel,
that is his fear.
You actually said Nigerians are too spiritual.
Yeah.
I don't want us to sweep that off the carpet.
Yes.
Okay, now we saw a video of a particular pastor with Ukraine's, what do you call it now?
Flag
praying for them. So do you think he's out of place? Is he out of proportion? And we still have some Ukrainians around their train station praying to God. So do you think they were wrong?
Nigeria has more problem than Ukraine, despite that Ukraine is in war. Nigeria has more problem. How many times have they taken time to pray for Nigeria?
They have been.
And even if they have the opportunity of meeting with Nigerian leaders, what do they tell them?
Okay.
That is another aspect of it. What do they tell them? Is it to go to Abuja or go to Aso Rock or go to one government house in any of the states and collect brand envelope and go and say you are lifted? I listened to somebody keenly. The second term of President Goodluck Jonathan, during the, I think a day to his swearing in on the 28th of May 2011. And while they were talking, somebody came, a former CAN president said, Mr. President, you are lifted high. The Lord is taking you high. The question I ask, a president, the highest office, going to where? Which high?
This is an interesting topic.
We are calling on Putin to resolve this matter ultimately. Because just now we are aware that the peace talk is about to commence in Belarus.
Yes.
And Ukraine has finally given in to the call for peace talk with respect to the venue to be Belarus.
Okay.
So that should happen. Then for those Ukrainians who are now leaving the nation en masse, I for one see them as black men in white skin. They should know that Ukraine is their home.
Okay.
They should defend their home.
Okay.
They should not belong like we black men who are afraid to die.
Is there any person that wants to die?
Then when you want to defend the integrity of your nation, you should stay.
Yes.
Where are you running to? And if people stay and not succeed, you will not come back and claim to be a Ukrainian.
Some of them are staying.
Those who are living shouldn't leave, except for the children and women.
Yes.
But an adult male should remain and fight.
Really?
Yes, they should remain and fight. They should not pretend to be like black men in white skin. Because here in this part of the world, we are afraid to die. Yet we do more grievous harm to ourselves.
All right, the European government, the European Union, have actually said that close to 500,000 of Ukrainians have crossed borders, and they don't need to apply for asylum. And of course, they have up to 3 to 4 years to stay. So do you think this war will last up to that time?
It may not. But just like I did say from the outset of this discussion, that it depends on the card that is placed on the table with respect to peace talk between the two nations. Also, the peace talk should not just be between Russia and Ukraine alone. Other sovereign states should be there, particularly the United States of America, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom should be there to supervise what happens in the peace talk. Because as you see now, the whole world is feeling the impact of the world already.
Certainly.
Price of things are skyrocketing. Oil is shortages here and there. So it now affects the whole world. It's not particular to Ukraine or Russia alone. So it's a good development, and everybody should come to the peace table to see how the matter could be resolved. I did think that this is what Putin would have done from the beginning. But like I said, maybe because he's now meeting with resistance, and that is shocking him to his bone marrow. So he is now saying, let us talk. The man is a pretender, and he remains a pretender.
You can't underestimate him. Is that what you're saying?
He can't underestimate the world. Yes.
I like that.
He is underestimating the world. And the world is saying no to him just now.
Well, the truth is, let's give peace a chance. Nobody actually wants to go to war, and nobody wants to die. Jenny White, any final word from you?
Well, I think that the Nigerian government should do something about our citizens that are still stuck there in Ukraine, and or those of them that are not able to gain access into Poland. We need to get our people out. We need to get them safety, and we need to ensure that their lives are safe. That's what I have to
All right,
say.
Barrister Emmanuel, thank you so much
Thank you
for
very much.
coming back. We hope to have you again on
Thank you.
TMI. All right, thank you so much for being there